welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm your host, Pete Mezzetti, sitting here with Old Saybrook First Selectman Carl Fortuna. Carl, welcome. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm good. And Carl, we might as well give it up that we are not in studio this afternoon.
Yeah, well,
and
clearly, yeah.
Well, yeah, because usually when you and I are together, we're in studio, but we are actually we're doing the show live on FM 87.7 Hacker Airwaves Radio, and with Valley Shore Community Television and the Pete Mezzetti Show. And we are actually live in the lounge at Luigi's Restaurant in Old Saybrook, Connecticut.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. Give me some.
On a Sunday afternoon.
On a Sunday afternoon.
So
that's right.
You caught me doing yard work.
That's okay.
Before I came down here, so I remembered. I said I got to get over to there for 2:30. I said since it's at Luigi's on a 2:30 on a Sunday,
right?
I can come more casually.
Absolutely.
than I normally do.
Right.
So here I am, and
excellent.
I'm happy to talk about a range of issues.
All right.
I know you're usually the question guy,
yeah.
So election coming up.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
First of all, by the time this airs, I don't know if
we are actually live right now on the radio.
Okay. So get out and vote.
Right.
Let's just start there.
Okay.
All right. So, I talk to people about local elections a lot.
Right.
And, we have local elections, we have statewide elections, which is next year, 22.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then we have our presidential elections, which is 24.
Right.
And, your local election probably touches people a lot more than the gubernatorial election.
Absolutely.
Or than the presidential election.
Absolutely.
So, yet the fewest amount of people vote.
Correct.
All right. So 40% of the people maybe will vote.
Sure.
On Tuesday. In a gubernatorial election, it's 60%, and in a presidential election, it exceeds 80%.
Absolutely.
Which is, look, I mean, Joe Biden and the other guy, Donald Trump, they're more famous than I am, so they get more votes. But we touch people a lot more directly than anybody, and I'm always surprised at how few people vote. So first message for the live audience is get out and vote.
Absolutely.
We'll be at the polls all day. We'll be welcoming voters with our team, the Republican team. Of course, the Democratic team will be out there also.
Okay.
My race, the Board of Selectmen, will remain as is in Old Saybrook.
Okay.
Me as first selectman, Scott Giegerich as selectman, and Matt Pugliese as selectman.
Okay.
But we have a lot of other races that are contested. We don't have a race for tax collector or town clerk, Sarah Becker and Barry Maynard.
Sure, absolutely.
You know them, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But we do have a race for treasurer. So you know that Bob Fish, who was a public servant in the town of Old Saybrook for 40 years.
Right.
Bob Fish passed away last year.
Yes.
So for the first time in a very long time, we have a race for treasurer. And we have John Gamble on the Democratic side running against Barbara Labriola on this side. So whoever the winner of that race is, maybe they can come on with me and introduce themselves
at absolutely.
a later date. And then, of course, we have our races. I joke about it, but we elect everybody. We elect dog catcher. It's a classic joke, right?
Mm-hmm.
We elect everything. And, we elect Board of Assessment Appeals.
Right.
We elect Park and Rec. We elect zoning, ZBA, planning, and of course, Police Commission and Board of Finance.
Yeah.
So this year, I think the real focus is on the Police Commission race in our town. There is a full slate of folks running for that, as there is on the Police Commission, and I think the Zoning Commission too. After that, it gets sparse as to fully contested races. I think those are the races that people are going to be looking at most closely.
Right.
Board of Assessment Appeals is contested, but
yeah.
People are going to be looking at the Police Commission. So,
absolutely.
Look, I've been there for a decade.
Yep.
And you've been very generous to me over the years.
That's right.
Having me on. You agree with that? You
I
agree
do.
that you've been generous to me.
I do.
So, so I've been here for a decade, and the bottom line is, no matter who is on a board or commission. You have to work with them,
Yes,
right?
right.
And I try not to make enemies. I try to always have a conversation with folks.
Yep.
They may disagree with me. I may disagree with them. But one thing we are losing
Yes.
everywhere, even at the local level, at the state level, and certainly at the national level, is the ability to communicate with each other.
Right.
Okay? Democrats and Republicans seem to get in a room and they go to their corners and they use their talking points.
Right.
And that's just not constructive to the conversation moving forward. And I'd like to think that when the Democrats in our town have brought forth ideas and communiques and candidates and all that, I like to think I've listened. It's still a little bit of a political position, so I'm in a role where I can, with the vote of Scott Gigerich, we can control the Board of Selectmen, but that's not how we run it. And I tell you, I'm concerned about it because at the state level, it's not much better. And I know you've had Betsy Guerra on in the past, and we look at the legislative issues that are coming up for the next session. And I know she was talking about juvenile crime as one issue. And that is everywhere. That has to be addressed because that's in the town of Old Saybrook. I have two friends of mine who had their cars stolen, and I don't know if it's, it's some sort of game, I guess, with these kids. But that somehow needs to be addressed. And I don't know how you address it with a 14-year-old. I mean, you're not going to incarcerate them for the next 10 years.
Exactly.
But the legislature has to come up with some sort of deterrent so that folks are not having their cars stolen constantly.
Right. Exactly.
How about you? How's the show? Good?
Yeah, show's great. We're keeping busy. It's sort of nice to be back in studio again.
Kidding, huh?
Because before, during the start of the pandemic, as you know, we were doing things through Zoom.
Yeah.
And it's not the same.
It's not. And
it's not the same.
I did one or two of those shows.
Yes, you did.
Zoom. And
that's right.
I mean, you know what's remarkable? I mean, and I'm not. This is not breaking news, of course. But
what?
I used to go. I used to go to meetings 1 or 2 days a week.
Right.
I'm on the Materials Innovation Recycling Authority Board, MIRA.
MIRA, sure.
The Trash to Energy Board.
Yeah.
I'm on CCM's board.
That's right.
And they both have. I have 2 monthly meetings with MIRA, and I have one or 2 monthly meetings
with CCM.
With CCM and KERMA because they share a board of directors.
Okay.
So I used to be out of town once or twice a week for these meetings, and certainly a board of directors meeting when you have 10 to 20 people, you can do it on Zoom.
Right.
And it's nice to see people in person, maybe once a quarter, 2-3 months. But I don't know that you need to meet with folks as much. You can get the business done. Now, if you have a larger meeting, a conference, you want to be in person.
Right.
But I think for monthly business, it's just remarkable how much more efficient it is to be able to take it from your office.
Right.
And so, anyway.
Now, you serve on the board of CCM with our friend Joe DeLong.
Joe is the executive director.
Yes, correct. Of CCM.
Of Connecticut Conference of Municipalities, and they do. Not everybody knows. You and I will talk with the lingo. Right. CCM, KERMA, this, that, and the other thing.
But I mean, many people don't know what we're talking about.
Exactly. I like to say the name sometimes.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Connecticut Conference of Municipalities is an advocacy group for Connecticut cities and towns.
Right.
And I think out of 169 towns, I think 168 belong to CCM. And they do a great job up at the state legislature. And we are actually about to, CCM is about to unveil a whole new tax and revenue concept to assist with the property tax burden. In the state of Connecticut, the property tax burden is probably one of the most regressive taxes we have. You're going to pay the taxes on your house, no matter whether you can afford it or not. It's not graduated. It's not progressive. It's regressive. So CCM is going to hopefully come out with a plan and lobby for that plan and lobby for changes in Connecticut tax law.
Right.
To give homeowners a little bit of relief from the property tax. So that's exciting. I also, CCM and KERMA share a board of directors.
Right.
So KERMA is the liability, auto, and property insurer for most cities and towns in the state of Connecticut. So we share a board. And so that's also a very active board, and they're exploring a few really novel ideas too.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, maybe with health insurance and things like that. So we're looking into a bunch of things on the board, but CCM has been, they're going to be advocating for some changes up at the state capitol and with regard to our tax and spending policy.
There we go. Now let's talk. And last time I had Betsy Guerra on with me, we talked about Mira.
Yeah.
Which is the
disaster that is trash.
What is
Mira?
it?
Mira's
What
not
is
the board of. I sit on the board of Mira, so that is not a dig at the executive director or the hardworking people at Mira. Believe me, but it is. Mira's existed for a long time, formerly as the Connecticut Recycling Resource Recovery Authority, CRRA.
Okay.
It became Mira, and. The trash to energy plant in Hartford is going to close.
Okay.
That is a fact that is going to happen.
All right.
And we are going to be shipping our garbage out of state. I've talked to you about this in the past.
Right.
But people talk about it, trash a lot, and it doesn't hit home to people.
Right.
They just go to the curb and they throw the bag in.
Right.
And it magically goes away, right?
Yeah.
And they are paying more and more, and they're going to continue to pay more and more because the state of Connecticut, and when I mean the state, I mean the executive branch, the governor, and some of his people, Katie Dykes, DEP commissioner. We need a different solution in Connecticut, and I'm happy to talk about it more.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah. We got time. Go.
So DEP is looking for diversion more than burning, and that's like recycling, okay? Right. The fact of the matter is you are not going to recycle your way out of this.
No.
People generate trash, and DEP, to their credit, is pushing increased recycling and increased food composting. Most people are not going to compost.
No.
They're just not going to do it.
Exactly.
So Connecticut needs a Connecticut solution, but let me tell you what is going to happen.
You know what? Let's talk about what's going to happen when we come back.
Okay.
We'll be right back after a short break.
Smart TVs and streaming services have taken over the television industry. VSC TV is proud to announce our presence on Apple TV and Roku to make watching your favorite shows even easier. You can access this service by downloading the Cablecast ScreenWeave app. Then choose Valley Shore Community TV from the list of channels. Select VSC TV Live to watch our channel in full HD. Or pick a show from our on-demand video library. VSC TV is your local Connecticut Mid-Shore Valley digital connection.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm Pete Mezzetti, sitting here with Old Saybrook First Selectman Carl Fortuna. Carl, welcome back.
Glad to be back.
Thanks for sticking around. You did make it through the break. Congratulations. Yeah. And while we have a second, we're not in studio today. We are at the lavish lounge at Luigi's Restaurant in Old Saybrook.
Yes.
We actually have the whole lounge area to ourselves, and we actually want to thank Lenny DeBella, who's the owner of Luigi's, for allowing Pete Mezzetti, his crew, and his gaggle of guests who are in and out of the studio in and out of the lounge this afternoon to come down and hang out and say hello. This is actually the first time we've ever taken the show out on the road.
Wow.
And hopefully Lenny will have us back again because we're well behaved and we know how to behave ourselves. Maybe.
Yeah. So, Luigi's and the DeBella family are huge in Old Saybrook.
Right.
They are great givers back to the community. And for Selectman, I want to thank Luigi's for all they do for the community because they do a lot.
Absolutely.
So, one thing I want to mention. I know we were talking about trash to energy before.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna sum that up in 30 seconds. Okay. You're
Go.
laughing, but
You giving
right
me a
now-
30-second answer?
Right,
yeah, okay.
Right now, there are 49 towns that belong to Mira.
Right.
And we send our garbage to Hartford, and it gets burned.
Okay.
And it gets burned in a relatively clean way.
All right.
Okay.
Sure.
And we don't ship a lot of garbage out of state.
No.
When that trash to energy plant closes next July 1st,
Okay.
and it is going to close.
It is?
Yep.
Okay.
We are going to be shipping a vast majority of Connecticut's garbage on a truck
Okay.
to South Carolina, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, and paying more to do that. And imagine, here we are talking about trash and trying to come up with better ideas to get rid of trash, and we're going to put it on diesel trucks to drive 1,000 miles out of the state of Connecticut, and in some cases, we're going to put it on a train to go to Alabama. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Really?
So here we are. We're going to be in the year 2022.
Right.
And we are basically reverting to a standard of garbage care that was 1950s,
Okay.
which is landfills.
Right.
Doesn't make sense.
No.
So we need better leadership at the state. The state is going to have to make an investment in funds and resources to make it happen so that Connecticut can be self-sufficient with its garbage.
Okay.
So that's that's me getting on my soapbox
Okay.
on the trash.
Absolutely.
So folks at home, the message for those on the radio and those at home is please, as much as you can, compost, and please, as much as you can, recycle.
Right.
I know that's not the answer to our trash solutions.
No.
One big thing that's going on in Old Saybrook.
Yeah.
So we are now raising money for high school field lights, okay?
All right. Sure.
Lights at the high school field were prohibited for the last 40 years, but we were able to get they were, okay? And that's a really long story that is a 2-hour show. So we're not going to go into that.
We'll do that some other time.
All you need to know
What?
is that lights are now legal, and,
Okay.
and they are authorized by the town zoning commission, and we're good to go.
Yep.
So the town of Old Saybrook, it's about a $400,000 project.
Sure.
The town of Old Saybrook put up $200,000 from our surplus last year towards that goal, and we are now trying to raise money through the community, about another $150,000 to $175,000
right.
to get those lights up for the next fall season. And one of the events, and I'm going to advertise here.
All right, go for it.
One of the events we're going to be doing is Laughter for Lights, I think it's called, on
Sure.
November 13th
Okay.
at Fireman's Field. And Vin
Right
McElhone.
by Pasta Vita.
Yep, Vin McElhone, the local comedian,
Yeah.
is going to be the guest, and he's going to help Old Saybrook rake in the dollars.
Really?
So that we can get another boost towards our fundraising. We've already, towards that $150,000, $175,000 goal,
Okay.
we already have we have about $25,000
Really?
already.
Oh, excellent.
$20,000 was raised by the police department,
All right.
by the officers and by the chief of police.
Okay.
So kudos to them. And we are looking to, we have a long way to go.
Right.
We have some folks in town who, if we can get to 6 figures, I think they might help us get across the finish line.
All right.
So we have some people in town who might be willing, I think, to write maybe larger matching checks. But
Okay.
it's super exciting for our town that we might eventually have in the fall of 22 Friday Night Lights.
Right, there you go.
All right? I mean, that's a huge deal. And it's a huge community spirit thing. So, and also in town, we have a lot of good things going on, Pete.
What else is going on?
We got at least three new restaurants going into town. We have the Essex Someone's putting in a to-go order right now, Pete. I think I might have to take that.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
There you go.
I heard the phone ringing.
Yeah, there you go.
So we have there's a restaurant in Essex called the Essex.
Okay.
And it's also called Los Charros. It has a Mexican theme.
All right.
He's opening a restaurant in Old Saybrook.
All right.
Right across from the fire department, where there used to be like a vegan restaurant.
Yeah.
Shayna B's by the Sea.
Yep.
He was there. Dagmar's Bakery used to be there. So he's going in there.
I know exactly
and
what
then
you're
where the
talking
Red Hen is going, we got a Japanese restaurant that's going to be opening, a sushi place. And then, of course, where Denali was, we have a whole Italian market.
Yeah. How's that going on?
Well, I think we hear about the supply chain issues in the world right now so much. And I think they're encountering some of those supply chain issues.
Oh, no.
But they hope to be open in the new year. So I think after the holidays is when they're hoping to do a soft opening.
Right.
That'll be great for Main Street. And we're doing a holiday celebration. I encourage all your viewers to come out on December 4th to the Town Green. We're doing a celebration of a whole bunch of different cultural celebrations for the holidays.
Okay.
So it's not just going to be Christmas. We're going to try to be very diverse and inclusive in who we welcome on the Town Green to celebrate that day.
Okay.
And then we're going to be encouraging people to go down and shop downtown. We're also going to be if you put $100 up for like a restaurant, they're going to match it with another $100. So there's going to be giveaways for restaurants and shops. So we're really going to be trying to encourage people to shop locally for the holiday season.
Absolutely. And also
what?
You know what else we forgot to mention?
What?
The Torchlight Parade.
Torchlight Parade is coming up on December 11th.
Yeah, that's right.
So the Torchlight Parade is far and away my favorite event of the year in Old Saybrook. It is the best because it is a great community event.
Absolutely.
And it's a town-wide party.
Yeah.
People have house parties all over town before and after the parade. And the parade itself is just a load of fun. So, and it's a statewide event. People come from all over the place to come to Old Saybrook. So December 11th, 6 p.m., Torchlight Parade. Be there or be square.
Exactly. Now how does the Torchlight Parade route, where does it start?
It starts over by, I'm going to start calling it...
what?
It's not Denali anymore. Because it's Gargano's.
Yeah.
It's going to be Joel Gargano and Lanny Gargano. They're taking over the Denali building for the Italian eatery.
Right.
It begins by the Liberty Bank on Main Street. And it just goes to the firehouse. And then there's a little warming on the Town Green. It's just, listen, it is, have you been?
I have.
Yeah.
I have.
The most fun event. It truly is.
I actually a bunch of years ago covered the event with one of the other local when it was around then WCNX Radio, which was an online radio station in Middletown.
CNX is 1150 on the AM dial. I grew up in Middletown, so I know that.
Good. Does that mean did you know of John and Judy Clark, who actually owned WCNX Radio?
Yes.
John actually...
I did know John Clark.
John actually passed away.
Okay.
And John actually gave me my bearings of radio. They actually used to carry the audio version of the Pete Mezzetti show on their station. So one year, John and I covered the Torchlight Parade in Old Saybrook. It was freezing. It was probably the coldest night ever, record ever in the town of Old Saybrook. But it was a lot of fun.
So prior to last year, they'd only canceled it once.
Right.
And I'm not sure why they canceled it that one time.
Okay.
But last year, of course, we canceled it
because of COVID. Yeah, you don't.
Right now, the numbers look great in Connecticut.
Right.
The positivity rate is continuing to fall, which is just fantastic. We're a very vaccinated town. We're
Right.
a very vaccinated region. We're a very vaccinated state. And as a result of that, we are able to do this.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's just fantastic that we're going to be able to get on with our lives and have the Torchlight Parade and our December 4th event on the town green. Okay.
Tell us a little bit about the December 4th event.
It's just Susie Beckman is organizing
Yeah.
it with the Park and Rec Commission, with Youth and Family Services, with the Chamber of Commerce.
All right.
And it's just going to be, we're going to try to do like a little bit of a lights festival
All right.
on the town green to bring people down during the entire holiday season to maybe go see the lights on the Old Saybrook town green.
Right.
Oh, we're here. Let's go grab a meal or let's
Right.
go shop in one
Right.
of the stores. So it's just a promotional event. And we're tying that into the American Rescue Plan dollars.
Sure.
So the cost of the entire December 4th event and the promotion and the continued fallout from it or after effects of it was about an $18,000 project. But we're funding that through the American Rescue Plan dollars,
Gotcha.
of which the town of Old Saybrook is receiving $3 million.
Gotcha.
And one of the stated purposes is economic recovery.
Okay.
And this is part of Old Saybrook's economic recovery, is to bring people back into town to get to downtown. And shortly thereafter, shortly after the election, we're going to be commencing a whole committee on the American Rescue Plan and how best to spend those dollars.
Carl Fortuna, we're out of time, but I want to thank you for coming down.
Good to see you
You
again.
too, my friend. You too.
Good to see you at Luigi's.
You got it. On behalf of Carl Fortuna, I'm Pete Mezzetti. Thanks. Good night. We'll see you next time.